capable of standing up here after listening to 7 amazing women and all the things that they were able to go through and overcome. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story. My story starts in Oklahoma. When I was in 6th grade, we had a project to make a timeline of our lives. Most of my classmates sounded something like this: graduate high school, go to college, become a doctor. Graduate high school, go to college, play in the NBA. Mine went like this: 18 years old, go to Oklahoma State, check. 22, graduate from Oklahoma State, check. 25, finish grad school, get a job in healthcare administration, check. 28, get married to a tall, handsome, dark-headed guy, check. 35, become the CEO of a hospital, check, check. 50, work in a corporate office of a large hospital company in Nashville. 55, be CEO of said company. There was a couple of kids, a house in Colorado, maybe one in Florida, somewhere in that plan as well. I obviously had priorities. But looking back on it now, I really realized that's not a normal 6th grade life plan. I think this speaks volumes about what my family instilled in me as a very young child. I was raised in a very supportive family. My parents both had jobs that they loved, that they were passionate about, and that they made a difference in. And I saw that. I had fierce females in my life, between my mom, my grandmas, all who worked their entire lives. And I never even knew it was an option to have it any other way. My mom was headstrong, she still is. And from an early age, she told me that her dream for me was, this is a little censored, that I would never be dependent on anyone for my livelihood. I would be assertive. And I would stand my ground. My parents always told me I could be whatever I wanted to be, and I believe that. My dad never treated me any differently than my brother. He never used kid gloves on me. My dad was at every game, track meet, swim meet, and activity that I was ever in. When I would get nervous about having all eyes on me at a game, he used to quote a wise philosopher, Babe Ruth. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing a game. So I started on my journey that I mapped out in 6th grade, and I kept getting thrust into these leadership roles. I've always been that girl that doesn't really blend in too well, much to my chagrin. I've always been the giant in the school picture, you know, the kid that towers over all the boys and sometimes the teacher. I was the freshman in the senior math class. I was the girl that always spoke my mind, even if it got me in trouble, which it typically did. You get the point. But finally, in college, I took leadership to heart. I saw how that I could make a difference in an organization, in a club, to a team, and that was my fuel. I could always see where we should be and where we could be and how to chase after that goal. And then when we hit that goal, celebrate, push the goal line further, and keep going. I had a great college experience. I loved it. Looking back, I don't think I wanted it to end, but really, who does? So I took the comfortable route. At the end of my senior year, I accepted a coveted position in Oklahoma, oil country, with one of the big 4 oil companies at the time. That was not in my plan. I was traveling the country and the world, spending time at oil refineries and drilling rigs. To most, it was a pretty cool gig. I was miserable. I searched and I searched for my purpose there. What good was I doing for my neighbor and for my community? Where was my passion for my job? the passion that I'd always seen my parents have for their careers. I felt like I was on a never-ending episode of The Office, and I had to find a way off that hamster wheel. I felt like such a failure. I was wasting such a great opportunity. I felt like I was letting down my grandparents for giving up an opportunity in a field that was thought of in my home state to be premier. But at the end of the day, what I truly felt was I was wasting my life. It's a little dramatic, I understand that at this time. And at that time, I knew I had to make a difference. So I quit. I had no job in the wings. I knew I had to get back to my dream of being in healthcare, and I was laser focused on that path. I learned a lot about this time in my life. Life is about choices. We are all responsible for the choices we make, and sometimes we fail. But learn from your failures, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and move forward. And don't make that mistake again. A phrase I like to say is, you do you. At the end of the day, I am the only one that has to be satisfied in what I've accomplished in life. My family will not love me any less because I have not accomplished my dreams or my aspirations. People from all parts of your life will give you an opinion. But at the end of the day, I am the one that has to look myself in the mirror and be satisfied. Fast forward 10 years or so, and I'm living my dream. I'm leading an organization that I loved. I felt we were making a difference. I had and have an amazing support system, both with my family and friends, mentors, and teams that I've worked with. I remember during one of my many heart-to-heart conversations with my husband, and he just stopped and he said, "You're ready for your own shop. You're ready to call your own shots." I was like, "Yeah, you're crazy. I am not ready for that." But his comments kept ringing in my mind. A couple of months later, I got a call asking me to do just that. Take on a CEO role. Lead an organization or two. And you know what my response was? Let me think about it. I had all the negative running through my head. All the reasons I couldn't do it. You're a girl in a man's world. You're too young. That's too complicated of an organization for a first-time CEO, and that's what I was told by someone else as well. But finally I realized, after much consultation with my family and mentors, that this really boiled down to, did I believe in myself enough to take that leap? Did I have what it takes to take on this new role? And was I going to let fear be the thief of my 6th grade dreams? Was I going to let the fear of striking out keep me from playing the game? I'm so happy to say I took that leap. I stepped up to the plate and took that swing. Courage over comfort. We as women face these choices every day. What are you going to choose? Courage or comfort?